What's going on, everyone? It's your boy JR, and thank you for tuning in. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for future content. A little weather report, 15 degrees Celsius. I think it's April 18th? April 18th today. Spring is here. It's upon us. We're like 2 or 3 weeks in already. I can't wait for the summer. These are sporting some Diablo Corsas. They're like a 50-50 tire, 50% road, 50% track. They suck when it's cold, super hard. But when it's nice and hot, these things grip. It's basically a track weapon for the road. I'm gonna do something a little different today for video content. I'm sure you guys have heard this, seen it, read it. Porsche is the gold standard for vehicles, right? You got your Porsche 911s, your Carreras, your GT3s, you got your turbos, you got your Dakar, you got your Cayenne, you got your Macan. And Triumph is very similar to that. And what I mean by that is they are the gold standard for motorcycles. This here, for example, is a 24 Street 77765 RS, #1 middleweight naked bike out there. To put this in relationship to Porsche, this would be very similar to a Porsche 911 GT3. Now, there is the Porsche 992 GT3 RS, which would be equivalent to, I would reference the 1200 RS. That would be the GT3 RS. And then you got your other bikes like your Trident 660s. That's going to be like your 911 Carreras. You got your Dakar, which is the off-road variant of the Porsches. And then we got our adventure bikes, for Triumph. We got your Tigers. You got your Turbo S from Porsche. Put that into perspective for Triumph, that would be like your Rockets. Everything about the bike, high quality, high performance, great value. It outperforms a lot of its other competitors out there. And that's the same thing with Porsche. You got your Ferraris and your Lamborghinis, and it's always Porsche is the benchmark. Well, this is the benchmark. The engine for itself, for this one here, is derived from the Moto 2, right? So you got a race-derived engine in this bike. So again, I'm gonna talk about Triumph and how it relates to Porsche throughout this video. So thanks for tuning in, and let's begin. All right. So going back to the comparison between Triumph and Porsche, for example, the handling. Look at this. Flickable. All right. Flickable. It's like a knife. This is what they call this bike. It's a weapon for the streets. Or even for the track. Porsche's like the same thing, they're track orientated. They actually set a record just not long. Actually, it wasn't long ago. Porsche GT3 with the YSAC package manual. It set a record for fastest around the Nordschleife by like 9 seconds. That's huge. Like 9 seconds, we're talking like, I don't know, like a couple blocks. Same thing with the Triumph. They set records too. Actually, I don't even know, I'm just making that one up. It sounds good though. Technology on this bike. You could be a novice rider and jump on this bike and feel like you've been riding for years. With all the safety on this bike, that's the crazy thing. You can, from this bike, and you go on to, I don't know, another regular sport bike or naked bike, and it doesn't have this type of technology, I hate to say it, you're probably going to crash the bike. You're going to slide out or pull a wheelie and not even notice, right? Like, I'm sure you'll notice, but what I mean by that is like unintentionally. And with Porsche, you don't have to be like the best shifter. They got that PDK down packed. Like, this has quick shifter up and down. So again, I'm on 4th gear, cruising about 70 kilometers, 75 kilometers. I'm gonna hit a light here, and I'm gonna brake late, and you're just gonna hear the downshifts. Like, silky smooth. Gosh, and that's one thing that a lot of reviewers talk about this bike is the transmission, the way it shifts up and down. Like, it's great. I've ridden a lot of bikes in my time. This is my number 13th motorcycle, and I've rode or owned, in this case, Kawasaki's. You know, I had a ZX6R, I had a Z900 RS, I had Gixxer's 600, I had BMWs, and out of all those manufacturers, the Triumph is by far like the smoothest shifting bike out there. Got the slipper clutch on here too. Such a nice bike. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. These are big bikes. Those Honda Goldwings. I had a buddy, we picked one up, and we were trying to like fist pump, or I guess trying to talk to each other at a light, and he dropped the damn bike, and that thing was heavy to pick up again. Like, if I drop that bike, you are basically deadlifting easy 900, 1,000 pounds. Call for help. Now, going back to Porsche and Triumph again. So we talked about like the shifter and how smooth it is. You know, well, the brakes, again, on a Porsche you can get carbon ceramic brakes, super expensive. These ones have Brembo Stylemas on this 765 RS. That's super bike level, right? I don't know if there's carbon ceramics on a motorcycle yet. That would be freaking cool. The brake itself would probably be more expensive than the bike. I watched a video the other day, and it was on a BMW, I think it was a BMW M8 competition, and the brakes on that, well, it had carbon ceramics front and rear, and to replace the brakes, the carbon ceramics, was over 20 grand. That was American dollars too. 20 grand. You know what 20 grand will buy you nowadays? A Triumph Speed 1200 RS. Like, that's nuts. Alright, so transmission, the shifting, very similar to like a PDK, like 5, 4, 3, 2, super smooth. And it rev matches for you. Talk about the brakes, phenomenal. Like, heck, even the tires. Again, it's a love and hate with these tires. These would be very similar to like your Michelin cups on a motorcycle. And then, I guess the looks. Man, this is badass. This is a transformer on 2 wheels. Look at the new 991 or 991 or even 991.2. The GT3 RS on that. Holy! That's like one of the largest wings out there. It looks mean. That's like a Decepticon. I'm like riding Bumblebee. Or whatever his name is. B? Did I do the weather report this morning? Today's gonna be a high of 15. It's a little chilly right now. It's like 8 degrees, maybe 10. I feel it. It's definitely a little chilly. So we got the looks. It looks like an expensive bike. It is, you know, I guess it is pretty expensive still. You got the brakes, you got the transmission. Hey, let's talk about the reputation. You know, Porsche, high quality. Triumph, high quality. Heritage, you know, racing. You got your scramblers out there. Porsche is up there too. I think they just hit their 50th. So they got some history as well. Let's talk about like performance. I mentioned earlier about Porsche setting a record for, well, they set records all the time, but just recently, a manual. They set a manual lap time record not long ago, and I think Triumph, again, like, they set records too. The performance in this bad boy triple engine. Let's talk about it. You know, it's like 130 horsepower, about 50-ish pounds of torque, and you look at the competitors out there, they're lacking. And in many cases, they got an extra cylinder. You know, we got the 4 cylinders that are producing just as much as this triple, and it has one less cylinder. But it doesn't need all that power though. Like, just the way they put it together, you know, the geometry of the bike, the riding position, the triangle, I feel great. I rode I owned a BMW R18 Cruiser, super nice and reliable, very comfortable. But this one, I kid you not, I could go on a long ride on this bike and my butt wouldn't hurt. Do that on the R18, about half an hour into your highway cruise and you're sore. Supposed to hook up with my homies here shortly. They got some nice bikes. Buddy has a KTM Super Duke, I don't know what it is, 1200, and then another guy got like an Aprilia, I don't know what it is, 1100 something. Don't get me wrong, both bikes are cool if you know how to use it and if you can use it. The power for those two bikes is crazy. You know, I think that Aprilia is over 200 horsepower. The KTM is probably close to 200 anyways after he was done modding it. On city roads, it's pretty tough to ride those liter bikes. Like, where are you gonna go? Like, look at this road. You got the crowns on this side here, on the left side, up ahead, tons of gravel. They're slowly doing street cleaning, which is nice. Oh gosh, look how quick that was, just going 4 gears. And that's the cool thing with again with like Porsche, you can do flat foot shifting all the way down. That's basically like your quick shifter on a motorcycle. Throttle all the way down, you don't have to lift it up to shift your gears. Same thing on this bike, you can be wide open throttle and shift your gears without even touching the clutch. I'll try to get over here. Sometimes I like to shift and pull the clutch myself, you know, like it feels nice. I like to downshift and like rev match. So again, we're in 3rd gear. Let me see as we get a little bit closer to this bend. Do some rev matching here manually. Something is flapping on the outside of my helmet. I don't know what it is. Speaking of a little chilly, that's one thing that this bike doesn't come with stock. I mentioned it in my other videos. Heated grips would be freaking nice. You got a 21st century bike. You got the looks, the performance, you got everything on this, but you're missing a few things, you know, like, again, these are just wishful thinking. It's not designed for this, I get it, whatever, but I don't have the luxury of having multiple bikes at one time, so it'd kind of be nice to like have it equipped. I know you can get it as an add-on. Again, like heated grips would be nice, cruise control would be nice. I'm just like nitpicking this bike. One zonk though, maybe 2, and again I mentioned this in my videos, is these turn signals. They're really crappy. This TFT display is pretty small, it's hard to read too. The guy's hitch says, "The boss." Comment below. Have you guys ever done the iron butt challenge on your bike? If so, how far did you go? How long? Like, I think I can do a couple hours on this bike for sure. The problem with this one is the tank is super small. So it actually works out well, I guess, if I'm going to do the iron butt challenge. Because you know, every 200 clicks, maybe sometimes less, I have to fill this puppy up. So I'm gonna try something different for editing. I'm really gonna try it myself, hook it up to my computer, give you guys a better quality. Well, that was fun. Gotta hit the red limiter. I want to watch it. Be hitting off the red limiter. Ah! I wasn't even paying attention. I don't even know where I'm going right now. Again, like, look at the road here. Still tons of gravel. Probably pull over at Tim Hortons here shortly. As I mentioned, this is a couple weeks into spring. I know some people out there haven't took out their bikes just yet. They're waiting for all the gravel to be swept. Warmer temperatures, like the 20 plus. Do you guys have any rituals that you guys do? Bringing your bike alive? What I do on my bike is oil change is huge. You gotta do an oil change right away. Fresh gas, premium, of course. Oh, the frick got cut through and made it. Huh. This bike never gets old. It's a nice little leak. Going back to the Triumph and Porsche comparison here. You know, again, we talked about heritage, styling, performance, safety, heck, reliability. Let's talk about that. You can do launch control on a Porsche day in, day out, multiple times, and you're fine. A lot of manufacturers, you can only do it a couple times and then they tell you to like chill out. You'll have to take a break for a little bit. This bike, you can ride it hard. No problem. Very reliable. Alright, you guys. Well, I'm gonna cut this video a little short right now. Can't feel my fingers. I'm gonna stop by at a Timmy's here, have some coffee, warm up my hands. All right, you guys. As always, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe for future content. Let's get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000 so JR can get another camera here. Yeah, oh, speaking of that, I'm like a squirrel. What do you think of the camera quality? Is it good? How's the audio? So I'm using a DJI Action 4 with a DJI mic 2, and I got an ND filter right now. So let me know what you guys think about the quality here. All right, ciao.